Alright, so in this video I'm going to show you two things on Emacs which you probably know and probably not know about it, but I found both the things are handy. So this is a pretty shorthand trick to know more about symbols. Symbols is nothing but codes related to functions, variables, and all other stuff. Okay, to 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 show you what I meant to say, let me go back to my Emacs client, which I have already opened. So this is my Emacs client running on TTY mode. This is the default mode I run. I hardly run Emacs in GUI. So to give you a demonstration, let me open my .emacs file. Here is my .emacs file. I have a keybind shortcut in Emacs which open this Ctrl+C+E. It could be different to you, and I'm just going somewhere just to show you. I just choose an arbitrary stuff. Okay, so if I do, I'm just trying to find a proper thing to show you. Just a moment. Anyway, so if I do come here and put my cursor on that particular symbol, git commit setup hook. Okay, so the first thing I want to show is called meta dot. If I do, see, my cursor was on a specific symbol called git commit hook, and I press meta dot, which does nothing but to show the definition of the symbol. Here I am in this file. This is called git commit.यल. You can look down bottom of the screen and you can see the file name on the mod line. Okay, so meta dot, while your cursor sitting on a particular symbol on a source code, will take you to the definition of that particular symbol. I'm hoping you are following, right? So let me go back, let me reiterate the same thing. Okay, so I'm canceling this. So you can see my cursor is sitting on a particular, could be any symbol. Okay, here I'm putting my cursor. You can see git commit setup hook. That is the symbol, that is the function my cursor is on. You can see my cursor is hovering. All I did meta dot, and it take me to the file where that particular function is defined. Okay, it's defined in git commit.यल, and you can see my cursor is pressed right there, right in this function. It was highlighted, right? So this is the function which I mentioned in my .emacs file, git commit hook. Okay, so this is super handy. Okay, if I go out of here and simply if I do Ctrl+H+K and look at the bottom of the screen, it's saying press the key, because I'm curious to know what meta and dot do. Okay, so I'm trying to pull up the help regarding that keybind. So I did Ctrl+H+K to know more about the key press. Now if I do meta dot, it will generate. See, look at the right hand side buffer, and you can see my cursor is hovering. So it says find the definition of the identifier at point, which is what I said to you. So meta dot will find the definition of a particular symbol. Okay, basically take you to the file where the definition of the symbol is defined, and I bring up this buffer by control HK, which basically prompt you for the keybind to show what that particular keybind does. Like here, as you can see, it's a meta dot, it's a global map, and it shows you the definition, right? Simple thing. So these things might be very handy if you are looking at a source code in a project which is spanning across several files, so you can easily find the definition of a particular symbol by pressing meta dot. Okay, all right. So likewise, let me show you the second one. And so for instance, here it says marginalia mode, okay, which is true. I just arbitrarily put the cursor on a specific symbol. Again, it could be anything, okay. And as I mentioned many times in my other videos, that I use a package called helpful, which will bring up the stuff in much verbose and detailed manner. It not only show the help command, but also it point out the file and source code related to that. All you have to do, see, my cursor is there on this particular symbol which says marginalia mode is assigned to 2. So if I do Control C and Control D, if I look at the bottom of the screen, it says marginalia mode is a both a variable and a callable show variable. If I press yes, see, it is showing me the variables of that particular symbol, which is marginalia mode, okay. And it pops up a buffer with a full of information about that specific variable. You saw it was prompting me to select yes or no to show the variables information. Here it is, okay. As you can see, it's quite verbose. So if you want to discover something which you think you need to know more about it, so you could do so. Point your cursor to a particular symbol and press Ctrl C, Ctrl D. Okay, let me do it one more time for you. Say I'm going somewhere else. Okay, so I put my cursor to not much tag added format. Okay, so if I wanted to more about it, just press Ctrl C, Ctrl D. Okay. Oh, it says there is no symbol pointed to that. Okay, let me org agenda include diary. If I do Ctrl C, Ctrl D, see, my cursor was placed on org agenda include diary. Is a variable defined. It shows which file the variable is defined, clearly written here, and the value of it, okay, the original value of it, and many other information, okay. And it will give you the reference to where you could find about all this stuff in a specific way, in a specific file, okay. And it is quite verbose. So This is a very handy key shortcut while you are inside Emacs. Let me close it. So if I do Control H key and do Control C, Control D, and it will show you. It'll see. It'll show you. As I mentioned to you, I use a package called helpful. It says helpful at point. If I put my cursor on a particular symbol and press the key Control C, Control D, it will give me a reference related to that particular symbol in verbose manner. Very handy, very useful. Okay, so I thought these things will greatly enhance the productivity on Emacs, because this little I'm not saying all the keybinds are useful, okay, but few of the keybinds which are meant to be there to be used in a proper way or proper situation, these two are. If your workflow is heavily dependent on looking at the source file I'm sorry, source file on Emacs, you could take advantage of metadot to find the definition of a particular symbol, and use Control C, Control D if you have helpful package installed already, so it will give you the verbose information about the particular symbol. Okay, so importantly, none of the keystroke will disturb the original file. Okay, so it is extremely useful, and I thought it will be useful for people who live inside Emacs and delve with a lot of source file. So this become lifesaver, I mean time saver. Okay, so I hope it will be useful. Thanks for watching.